Hi guys, welcome to another video. So I chose this video to do a game walkthrough because I thought that this game featured many techniques, and I would like to share them with you guys play by play. Thought it'd be easier if I explain them rather than just watching uh, the game itself with no explanation. Yeah. So when we start the game, we just buy some heroes out, and yeah, we take a look at the hero pool. So normally the first thing I'll do is I'll look at the pool and decide what kind of strategy would be the best for the game itself. So if I was thinking of doing a face rush lineup where you just jump your opponents, but there is a Doom and Enigma, so those two kind of counters are jumping lineups, and it'll be tough to actually fight into them. Yeah, so no jumping for me. And I was thinking if I want to go for like an attack free build, or just like a normal build, you know. But I thought that the current lineup would be good if we just go for long fights, as there are plenty of heroes here that excel in really long fights. So heroes that excel in long fights are those with low cooldown spammable spells, and they are able to sustain on their own for a long time. So as you can see, I'm picking some early game heroes here, like Wraith King, Tip of the Light, Sniper. Yeah, Arc Warden is after the buff is a really good hero. The spell has been changed from summoning a replica of yourself to reviving hero. Yeah, but more on that later. I'll explain how it works and why it's so good. Yeah, so we have a Wraith King here as a tank. Wraith King is really good here because I foresee that there will be plenty of Scarab Mage here, and if you have a Wraith King, you can just use a Blink Dagger and jump them. And Scarab Mage usually has a attack free medal. So what happens is that the Scarab Mage would be forced backwards because of Wraith King, and your backline units are able to cast their spells, their long range spells, onto your opponent. Yeah. Tip of the Light is quite an underrated hero, but it's really strong early game because Illuminate deals damage, and also it heals your teammate during the day. So it has dual purpose. It deals damage, and it is a strong nuker, and also heals your teammate, heals your ally. Yeah. So Nature's Prophet is one of those heroes that is really good for long fights because your ulti with Aghanim Scepter has a really short cooldown, and if you have Aghanim Scepter, when you cast your ulti, it actually roots the opponent. And what happens is that usually in an attack free lineup, you would have items like Force Boots, right? So when Nature's Prophet casts his ulti, the AI would actually use the Force Boots instantly to break the root, and this would put Force Boots on cooldown. Force Boots normally I think has a 12 to 15 seconds cooldown if I'm not wrong. So you're actually preventing your opponent from a lot of mobility. You're denying them from a lot of mobility that's gotten from the Force Boots. So early game you just go for a Sniper. Sniper is really good at saving blood. Saving blood is in preserving your HP, because Sniper's first skill, Shrapnel, deals really high AoE damage, especially if you have the level 20 talent with the plus 60 shrapnel damage. It is about 125 damage per second just by standing over it, and it has a really high slow as well. I think it's about 60-70% slow to those in the AoE. Yeah, as you can see here, Sniper and Keep of the Light has a really good synergy here. Keep of the Light at level 1 has Aghanim Scepter buff, and he's able to cast the Will Wisp to actually draw the opponents to the Ball of Light. Yeah. So our main objective here would be getting Sniper to level 25, because Sniper is the one that is able to carry us early game. I'm also holding a Tiny as well, but I'm not going to build him till later because Tiny requires too many items to be useful.
Radiant victory.
But since I have Keeper of the Light, Tiny and Keeper of the Light is a really good combo late game, so um, there's always a possibility of those two, and that's what I plan to do. So it will be a nice transition because Keeper of the Light will be strong throughout the entire game, and Tiny will be a good extension to that. Tap onto Keeper of the Light's Chakra Magic, which reduces Trivoli's cooldown. So normally I'll go for an early Magic Stick or Infused Raindrops because those two gives really good survivability. There are so many spells that's being casted and your Magic Stick will be able to stack up a lot of charges. And also, Infused Raindrops cost 2 to 5 gold, but it's able to block so much magic damage actually. Not to mention that it also provides mana regen, so it's really good for those spellcaster type heroes that run out of mana really fast. I'm also going for Leech here because Leech provides Frost Armor, which is a really good defensive spell. And late game, if everyone is playing attack free, most likely they will all be in the back line trying to cast their spells. You need some way to actually pull them forward. So one way is using Force Staff on Wraith King. The other would be using Leech, getting an Aghanim Scepter on Leech. And when you get an Aghanim Scepter on Leech, it actually enhances Leech ability such that its Sinister Gaze is an AoE spell, and you'll be able to pull the backline targets if you give Leech enough cast range. Yeah, and the reason why we are rolling for Bounty Hunter here is that Bounty Hunter, if goes unpunished, you're able to rack up a lot of gold, and your economy will be much better than your opponent. The amount of gold that you gold advantage that you'll be able to get is quite discernible actually. Yeah, give you a very big advantage. So there's two ways to play Bounty Hunter. One way is going just to go for an attack build where you just go for BKB refresher around the satanic power threats, some attack speed. However, that's really expensive, and in this game, uh, I don't think that's the wisest thing to do here because there are so much magic damage around, so much damage here, and you also get kited very easily because there's a Wraith King, there's a Doom, there's a Hoodwing as well. So we better to just go for an attack free build on Bounty Hunter and just roll for the level 25 talent plus 300 gold. Another thing I want to mention is that in this current meta, it's always good to just roll for get the level 20 elf as fast as possible and go for the plus 300 gold talent. Because that 300 gold talent, if you get it early, it actually gives you a lot of gold, and the difference in gold between someone who has an Aegis and someone who has chosen plus 300 gold is a very big difference in the economy. 300 gold is regardless of whether you're fighting or not, it's 300 gold every round. So now you can see that it's round 9. Imagine we drag to round 40, so that's like 30 rounds of plus 300 gold. So yeah, you do the math, that's a really big amount of gold difference there.
Radiant victory.
So one thing is that Grimstroke is normally a really good hero for attack free lineups. However, it isn't that useful here because the main purpose of Grimstroke would be its first skill and ultimate. First skill deals a lot of damage, yes, but the ultimate is kind of wasted because nobody will be actually playing jumpers here, as that isn't the best thing to do here. So if there's no jumpers, there is really no target for you to link as a Grimstroke, because the only front target will be a Wraith King and the rest will be behind. So you are not able to link any two heroes together. So whenever you gotten an item, the first thing you do when you are still leveling up to level 15 is to sell the item regardless of what you get, because it's always best to roll for heroes early. Getting heroes early is really good because those early game heroes requires they scale with levels and not items. So higher level those early game heroes are, the higher your chances of winning early game, and by virtue of that, the less health you lose as well. So over here you will notice that I actually exceeded my food supply by 4, so I lose 400 gold after this round. But it doesn't matter because I have a bounty hunter, so with every track goal I gain 300 gold. I just need to track 2 heroes and I would have made back my over gold supply, oversupply penalty.
Radiant victory.
So I got a few fluffy hat for bounty hunter. It might seem odd, but fluffy hat actually provides, it's one of the best value for HP item in the game. You compare that to a vitality booster. Vitality booster costs 1.1k and it provides 250 HP. Fluffy hat on the other hand costs 250 gold and provides 150 HP. So yeah, you do the math, it's actually the best value for HP here. Yeah, this is quite sad because you see that there's 4 track targets and they're all low on HP. If only there was a sniper here or something to actually clear them, that would be an additional 1.2k gold. But yeah, it is what it is.
Radiant victory.
Yeah, so I sold my tiny first because if you exceeded the supply the round before it ends, you would lose 500 gold. So I was still rolling for the talent during my free time. I got to make sure that I don't have oversupply of units when the round ends, because I will lose too much gold then. I went for an early bloodstone on sniper so that he'll be self-sufficient. Although there's a keep of the light, but the keep of the light endgame he would actually be following tiny instead of sniper. So I would still require sniper to actually survive on his own, go on his own. Yeah, so that's why I went for a bloodstone here. I got a falcon blade as well because falcon blade provides flat 25 mana regen, and that is one of the best efficiency item for mana regen. It costs 1.1k gold and it provides 25 mana regen. If you want to compare it to Hex provides 9 mana regen, but it costs like 5.7k gold. Lincoln's is 4.7k gold and it provides like 7 or 9 mana regen. So yeah, Falcon Blade has the best value for efficiency for mana regen. And not only that, it actually provides HP, so it's actually a really cost effective item overall.
Radiant victory.
So I gotten a Dragon Lance for Sniper because I just want Sniper to be really safe at the back, to be casting his spells. And my Sniper here is a magic kind of build where he will just be casting spells and yeah, and just actually be kiting the opponent. The Sniper is not actually here to do some right click damage. It's not my carry. Yeah, that's why I don't see damage items like Daedalus or anything. Right, so here you see that I have a Arc Warden level 1. I will not be leveling my Arc Warden any further because I'll be doing a trick later with the tomb. Yeah, which I would show later. I also have a Juggernaut level 1 there. But it's not worth to roll for more, so I'm just going to leave it there and utilize the tomb later to get it level 25.
Dire victory.
So by getting a Flowable Medal on Keep of the Light, Keep of the Light actually maintains its position relative to Sniper on the battlefield. You'll always be, like as you can see there, diagonally opposite Sniper. And what this does is very important because if you follow Medal, Keep of the Light would chakra Sniper. That's one. And the second thing is that because Keep of the Light is behind Sniper, right? So when he casts his Illuminate will be casted behind Sniper, and you actually heal Sniper when the Illuminate goes through it. So always put Keep of the Light behind your units so that you will actually Illuminate will actually pass through your units as well as hit the opponent. So in this case, you will do damage to the opponent and also heal your ally. Yeah. I got early Lincolns because when there is a sniper wars here, you do not want your sniper to actually get disabled. So by getting Lincolns, the opponent's sniper will not be able to assassinate my own sniper. And how the targeting for sniper's assassinate works is that it would always aim the furthest range target if possible. Yeah, so most likely that will be sniper. That's why you need Lincolns. And also a big part of Sniper's damage comes from its ultimate, which deals 1.900 damage, I think, or 1k damage. So by getting Lincolns, you completely block the stun effect from the ulti as well as the damage. So that's a very big part of Sniper's capability that is being diminished when you get the Lincolns. You can either go for Lincolns on Sniper itself, or if you have a follow medal on a support, you can go for that. Then that frees up a slot for Sniper as well. And try not to eat Aghanim Scepter too early, because when you buy an Aghanim Blessing, the hero loses the Aghanim's Scepter stats, so there will be no additional stats or HP bonus as well. Unless there's an Alchemist where you can give the Aghanim Scepter. It's also really good to give snipers items that has active cooldowns like Abyssal Blade, Bloodthorn, Nullifier, because of Sniper's talent. He has cooldown reduction talent, and normally you get the Octarine Core for Sniper, which means that he is able to utilize those items more often. Yeah. Another thing is that if you are actually going for like a carry sniper or something, Octarine Core is still good because Sniper's third spell, which is Take Aim, actually has two components. Firstly, there is a passive component, which is the attack range. Second component is the active component. Active component actually provides true strike, and also increases your headshot chance by 30%. If you get an Octarine Core on him, he has a 60% to 70% uptime on the take aim, which means that you would practically have Monkey King Bar most of the time. You have a true strike. So there isn't really much of a point to go for Monkey King Bar on Sniper. I would rather you go for Daedalus or something.
Radiant victory.
Yeah, that's just a good point to take note. Nature's Prophet with an Aghanim Scepter has a low cooldown, so he'll be able to spam his ulti. Got an Octarine Core as well, which means that it's even lower. So in this game, it's all about dragging the fights as long as possible. So a Tiny isn't actually, an Enigma isn't really good here, because usually when you play an Enigma, you would want to actually burst your opponents down um, with your spells, burst damage, right? Like when you're going for Enigma, you want like a centaur, something like that, you know, where you have actually burst damage. You can just kill them fast during the black hole. But in this game, you see there is it's quite hard to actually play Enigma, because there's a lot of items to be built. You need to have Akane BKB, Refresher, Interlands, Lincolns, and you most likely be jumping the backline, and the backline has plenty of heals with Keep of the Light and Juggernaut. So if you're not able to burst down the opponent's fast, it's quite pointless to have Enigma. Another thing to mention is that when you're playing Enigma, you want to have proper follow-up. If there is no follow-up here, then it doesn't make sense, because if they survive your ulti, your Enigma is completely useless. You want to have a follow-up like I mentioned, with a centaur, with some jumpers like maybe a Soul Warrior or something. But just a solo Enigma is more of a control. So don't look at Enigma as a carry or someone that can actually carry the game. Look at it as more of a control hero to actually lock down your opponents. Yeah. But like I mentioned, this game is all about long drawn out fights, and Enigma is more about bursts. Fits better in your burst lineup. Yeah, so the reason I disabled the Keep of the Lights Will Wisp is because Will Wisp has a really short cast range. I do not want Keep of the Light to be risking his life walking forward to be casting the disco ball.
Radiant victory.
I just want him to be supporting my sniper for now. And my Leech would just be there to actually cast Frost Armor on everyone. Frost Armor is really good, provides damage reduction as well as HP regen. The Chain Frost is not that important for Leech late game. Yeah. And also another thing like I mentioned before, Leech late game we have the with Aghanim Scepter, Sinister Gaze turns to an AoE ability. So that's a really good way to actually draw the opponent's backline target towards you. Now I'm looking at neutral items to see what is the best. Yeah, so usually in a range wars, you definitely need cast range. So the best neutral items would definitely be items like Seer Stone,
Radiant victory.
Telescope. So I gotten a pipe, but I should have gotten a pipe earlier, because there are so much magic damage going around here. Pipe would actually have plenty of damage mitigation. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but getting a Follower's Medal for Leech might not be the best idea, because when you go for a Follower's Medal, Leech will only cast his spell on the hero that's being followed, which means that he won't be casting his Frost Armor on Sniper. While if I'm going for attack free medal, he will actually be casting his Frost Armor on all the units, prioritizing the carry of course. Alright, so you just focus on Leech. Leech is going to cast the Sinister Gaze next. Focus on the opponent's backline units here. See, Leech is actually pulling them towards him. So I have Lincolns on all my heroes because I do not want them to be disabled by Sniper. Klings is not a really good hero here because everyone is playing backline units, and if you're playing Klings, Klings is more of a hero that stand and fight, but you can't actually stand and fight against this kind of lineup because you'll just be kited. There won't be any target for you to hit. The only target in front would be a Wraith King, and yeah, I mean, there's no point hitting Wraith King. Wraith King will just revive and come back again. Not to mention there is Arc Warden here. I'm just rolling for, yeah, I got a Seer Stone first, so I think that is perfect for me. Right, so I swapped out my Bounty Hunter because I thought that it's about time that I needed more damage. Sniper does not provide enough damage for me anymore, so I needed to change that. Tiny, on the other hand, with the Zagani Scepter, actually provides really good synergy with Keep of the Light Chakra magic. Even though there is a lot of heals here, but Tiny is able to burst them down because of its 3 toss. Yeah, Trivoli, I mean. Right, so one mistake that I made here was that I did not swap the positions of Sniper and Tiny. Sniper is self-sufficient now, so it will be fine. What I need now is for Keep of the Light to actually Chakra Tiny so that it's able to spam his Trivoli. So you see I got a level 1 Juggernaut here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give Juggernaut a tomb, and it's going to get level 25. Instead of rolling for the Juggernaut, which is going to take plenty of gold. Just went for a shortcut here. This is a good trick to use. So I realized that all I need for Tiny here is cast range. So with a Seer Stone and a Octarine Core, you will have enough cast range to actually cast his Trivoli onto the opponent's backline without walking forward too much. One mistake I did here was that Fluffy had actually upgrades to a force boot, so I could have just used those Fluffy heads for force boots instead of buying another Fluffy head. but it's fine because Fluffy Head is cheap and it provides HP, so there isn't much loss there. So the reason why I got Seer Stone, like I mentioned, is because I need the cast range. If I went for item like an Imclaw, yes, I'll be dealing more damage, but all I'll be doing is I'll be casting Trivoli on the Wave King, because his backline units will be too far away for my Tiny to reach. So later I'll be getting a Telescope, and for Seer Stone and Telescope, the cast range is insane for Tiny's Trivoli. And I'll be able to cast it from like half the map away. Alright, so you take a look at the cooldown for Tripoli. 5 seconds, you see it's refreshed because of Tripocalypse Chakra Magic, and then you see he's just basically spamming the Tripoli back to back. That is a really sick combo. You can see the damage that he's doing, and he's able to he's able to toss his Tripoli halfway across the map. If I did not have Seer Stone, he would probably need to walk forward too much, and that will put him in harm's way. When I look at how far it's actually casting this Trivoli, it's actually casting it like from here all the way here. So that is the cast range of the Tripoli when you have that much cast range.
Radiant victory.
Right, so I ate the book on Juggernaut and I brought him out as a support. I disabled the ulti because I do not want him to be casting it. All I want is for him to be spamming his healing ward. That's all. The reason why Juggernaut support is so good is because Healing Ward provides like 4% max HP regen per second, so it actually keeps your team alive for a really long time. It's really good for long drawn out fights like this. Yeah, as you can see, Leech is actually doing a lot of work here by pulling them in. So you see with a Wave King there, all his units will actually be attacking Wave King. It's really hard for him to get to the back line until the Wave King dies. Yep, so take a look at Nature's Prophet damage, 44,000. So Nature's Prophet is really good because when he casts his ulti, he deals a lot of damage, and he has Gleipnir as well and cooldown reduction talent. So here I give another book to Arc Warden. When you give a book to a hero which is level that is below level 25, it will instantly be upgraded to level 25. So it could be level 1, level 5, level 10, it doesn't matter, just give it a book and it will be level 25 immediately. But here's a catch though, because when you sell the hero back stash, the hero will still remain level 25, he would not drop the tomb and go back to his original level. So at level 25, if you want it to go to level go back to level 30, just give it another book, which means that you need 2 books to go from level 1 to level 30. This would be very good for heroes that are really expensive late game or highly contested, such as Draw Ranger. But Draw Ranger is not a hero that you're going to build early because she doesn't provide much early game damage. So you probably want to go for some early game heroes first, and then you want to build your draw. But the thing is that the timing is kind of off, and if you roll for your draw, then draw will be really expensive, like 400 gold per draw at level 1. So instead of competing with everyone else for a draw, why not you build your early game heroes first, roll for heroes that actually has impact early game, and then when you are ready to build your draw, take a level 1 draw out, give it a tomb to level 25, give it another tomb to level 30. This also works for support heroes or heroes that do not require level 30, such as Juggernaut. He does not really need all the talents, he only needs the healing ward talent. That's the most important one. So I'm able to just keep him at level 25. That's fine. Keep Off the Light and Leech do not really need books as well as Fifth King. So I could actually just get 3 more books to feed if I have to. So when you get items, it's always better to break them first and decide what you want to do with them. Don't sell them immediately. Some items might not seem really useful, but you can actually break them for more useful items. Like Eye of Skadi can be made into 2 Lincolns with the ultimate orb, and a point booster is just a really good item. You can use it to make a soul booster into an Octarine Core, a soul booster to a Bloodstone, or just an Arcanine with a point booster as well. Yeah, here I took out an Arc Warden. Arc Warden is really good this patch because its ultimate allows you to revive another hero. I disabled the first and the third spell because those 2 spells do not really do much damage. What I need is the ultimate and the second spell. Second spell actually Magnetic Field provides evasion while heroes are inside it, and also with an Arcanine Shard it provides magic resistance, and this game is all about magic damage mostly with a tiny physical. So magic resistance is really good, and Tiny actually has to have an MKB. If not, he would miss most of his attacks. I was actually thinking of going for MKB on Tiny, but there's not many players playing Arc Warden here, and yeah, it seems like I could get away with a double Daedalus, which provides so much more damage. Yeah, so the reason I got a Shadow Blade for Arc Warden is that he will always remain in Invis form. He will always be in Invis, and he will only break Invis to cast the second spell, which has a 14-second cooldown, or his ultimate, which is a 1-minute cooldown. So because the spell's cooldown are longer than Shadow Blade's cooldown, most of the time he will remain in Shadow Blade form, will be Invis. And because I did a follow medal for Arc Warden, you'll actually be safe at the back. So as you can see, I'm 35 out of 30, and you see I'm jumping back to 40 out of 30. This is because Arc Warden just revived a unit. So let's see it again. If another unit dies, you will actually be revived. Let's see. Okay, so 35 out of 15, 30 out of 15. Alright, seems like Arc Warden has actually revived too. Yep, so Lincolns for all your heroes because of Sniper. You do not want him to be disabled by Sniper. Crystal Maiden is also a really good hero because of its 15% magic resistance aura, but I don't have a slot for it, and yeah, I don't have a slot for her, and she doesn't provide much damage or anything other than the magic resistance. Yeah, so it seems like my opponent just gave up here. Caught me by surprise. Yeah, alright, so that's the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just going to show the end game screen for you guys again.
Dire victory.
Yep. So as you can see, I have a considerable goal advantage over my opponent. There's two reasons for that. Firstly, he took an Aegis, which means that he does not have plus 300 gold per round. Secondly, I have a bounty hunter which I swapped out only, so I have that track goal advantage as well. Yeah. Alright, so this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Alright, bye.